Hello everybody, congratulations on surviving your first week of distance learning. Today we're going to be looking at a review of algebraic and numeric expressions. The homework is written for you on the board. This is going to be for the 7th of April. The worksheet is titled Review of Algebraic and Numeric Expressions Worksheet. It is basically a review of PEMDAS, and it's also going to be a review of evaluation. There were a few on here that seem a little tricky, so I just wanted to do a couple with you guys before you have to try to do these on your own. I didn't get much feedback last week in terms of help, so guys, please make sure that you're utilizing the tools that I'm giving as far as texting, Skyping, and getting into our group chat room so that you guys can get the help that you need. I don't want you getting bad grades and then not being able to benefit from learning from those things. Okay, so I wanted to just go ahead and write out the problem for you so we wouldn't waste time on the video. But back to this. Remember guys, you want to do PEMDAS on these problems. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Remember that multiplication and division have to be done left to right in the order they appear, as do addition and subtraction in the order they appear. So if addition is first, you add first. If subtraction is first, then you subtract first, okay? So in these, look, the problem is you have multiple parentheses. So start in the innermost parentheses and work your way outward. Remember to keep the parentheses with you until you've completely simplified the problem. If you do not do that, some of these are going to get unnecessarily complicated. So in here we can see that this is a parentheses within a parentheses. And then we have another parenthesis. So as I'm looking, actually, let me see here. So this is the first one and the second one. Okay, so we're going to start here. So we're going to say negative 2 plus 1. So starting with my positive, 1 minus 2 is negative 1. Now, the next thing I'm going to see in this problem is going within my parentheses. So that's going to be inside of here. I've got to do everything else. You may be tempted to multiply, but the problem is the multiplication is not in the parentheses. So you've got to work in this bracket first. So I'm going to put those there so you'll see it. Then I'm going to say this is negative 16. This is negative parentheses negative 1. I don't need that parentheses because it's not multiplying. I'm going to change this to a positive 1. Okay? So far I have let me get to the right problem here. I have negative 16 plus 1. So 1 minus 16 is going to be minus 15. Okay? And now I've completed everything within these parentheses. So I'm going to drop those parentheses from here down. And then I'm going to see from here, so that's this one. This parentheses is here. That means that's there. This one is next, times 2. That's going to be really helpful to you guys so that you don't get confused. So try to keep them about in the same location, okay? So now I have negative 15 times 2, which is going to be negative 30. And then you'll see the last thing I want to do is drop the dividing by 5. And this is going to give me a solution of negative 6. Okay? So the key to these problems is going to be making sure that you work in the innermost parentheses and you follow PEMDAS. That is going to be problems number 1 through 12. When you get down to numbers 13 through 18, those are going to be evaluations. And they give you the value, so the only thing I would remind you is whenever you are evaluating, you always have to use parentheses. Okay, use parentheses to evaluate for exponents and multiplication. Always do that. If you don't use the parentheses for those two, then your evaluations are not going to come out correctly. Next thing on the back is numbers 19 through 28, and those say simplify each expression. Note here, you're not solving for the variable. So for example, number 19 says 9x plus 9 minus 1. This is an expression because it doesn't have an equal sign. Therefore, I'm not solving for x. I'm simplifying like terms. The only thing that's the like terms are these ones. So this is going to be at 9x plus 8, and I am done. I am not solving for the x. Please keep that in mind. Okay, that's the lesson for today. We'll see you tomorrow.